I'm Lori Clairhout at laurieclairhout.com, and I'm talking today with my friend Erinne Sevigny Adachi from bluepencilconsult.com. Hey, Erinne.
Hi. Hi, thanks for having me.
All right. I'm excited to have you here and talk about whims. I'm dying to
Mm.
know, what is a whim to you?
Okay, so I think a whim, when I was thinking about it, I have come up with the analogy of an ice cream truck. Um,
Ooh.
because a whim to me is something that is temporary. It's not something that pokes away at you. It's not intuition. It's a one-time shot at a one-time thing, and it's your intuition that tells you or helps you to know whether you should take it and run with it or just let it pass. And so, I mean, I guess whims and ice cream are a little bit different, but you hear the ice cream truck, you've got a very limited amount of time to get your money and get out there to get one. If you miss it, it's gone. And if you get it, that's great. And then further to that, I think on the same token, a whim can be like too many whims, and taking too many whims can be a negative thing. It can be a distraction for especially writers. If you follow every single whim, if you eat every single ice cream, that's not a healthy thing to do. And so that's my base thought on whims. I think they're a psychological collusion of things. There's events and emotions and different chemicals and your surroundings, and all things collide for one particular idea at a particular time. And you either take it or you don't. And anything more than that, if you're being poked about it and an idea over and over again, I feel like that's something different. That's your intuition talking about something else. I brought it up this morning at breakfast at a table of some of the instructors and campers out here, because I'm at a writing camp right now. And some of the other words that came up were impulse and instinct. And so there was a discussion of what is what. Is a whim an impulse? Is it an instinct? Is there like an order of it? Is it whim, impulse, instinct in that order? Instinct being something a little more animal and immediate. So I think, but for me, a whim is temporary and one shot kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I love the ice cream idea. Too much ice cream is not so good for us.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it's not so healthy, even though it's fun. It can
True,
be
true.
fun. Yeah, can be
And I
fun.
mean, ice cream is important to have every now and then.
I agree. And I appreciate your writerly perspective. I love talking with writers about words because we both know that words evolve over time, and
Absolutely.
words can be culturally significant or regionally appropriate.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
we come up with new words. So,
Yeah.
what do they mean? Yeah,
Hmm.
what do they
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
And now for you, I was getting the sense that intuition is something a little bit different. Like intuition maybe is something a little more like long-standing and not sporadic or punctuated like a whim might be. Can you talk a bit more
Absolutely.
about how intuition might work?
Well, I think that's something that grows. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you have it or you don't. I
Mm-hmm.
think everyone is capable of building that. And when you're building it toward whether it's a type of career or, the type of person that you want to be, you're building an intuition for different elements, right? I'm not going to have a medical intuition. I've not built anything around myself in the medicine field, but I will have intuition for writing, for words, for story, because I've built that. And so when those whims do come along, my intuition knows when to grasp onto those ones because I've built it that way. Um,
Like a training ground. You've collected
Absolutely.
your information so that so you have a
Yeah.
foundation on which to base decision making.
Yeah. And then you
Hmm.
trust it too. You learn to trust it.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do, but trial and
Hmm.
error. Sometimes you trust it and it doesn't work out for you. So that's okay.
Yes.
That's part of its growth.
Ah, absolutely. Yeah. The moments of trying and failing and then shifting and trying again and finding your place. I like
And
that.
experimenting.
Yeah, yeah. So now can you tell me, has there been a time where you followed a whim and what happened? What was the result?
Um, yeah, well, so I recently got married, which is a cool new thing. And I actually, and with that, I kind of, I met my husband online, and I was in a zone where I wasn't answering messages from anybody who was younger than me.
Mhm.
For whatever reason, maybe it was a stupid idea, maybe it was a good idea, I don't know. And so I got a message from my husband, my now husband, and he was younger than me. But
Ah.
for whatever reason, on a whim, I was like, I'll answer. Part of it was because I think he complimented my writing. and, but for whatever reason, I bent that rule that day and followed it. And well, there you go. 3 years later, you know. So yeah, not exactly a writing example. Um,
No,
for
but
me, I'm usually helping other people pick which whims to go with.
that's
But for me,
right.
that's just the most recent and personal one that worked out really well.
I love it. So you married a guy on a whim.
Well,
Okay, not really, not really.
not
Uh,
exactly like that, but
yeah, I
I
love
met him.
I love both the example and the kind of analogy. The example that in that moment you felt a tug. You're like, this is not how I normally operate, but maybe I'll do
Yeah,
this now. And it turned out, wildly like successful for the two of you. You were like in love. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There we go.
And the
And I mean,
analogy.
those kinds of things help all aspects of life.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And I love the analogy to your really to your business. You help writers to choose which whims to follow so that they can bring their writing to the world, really.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And that's like a collaboration of intuitions, I think.
Yeah.
Um, trying to find a direction that feels right. Um, and recognizing whims as
Hmm.
well, and
Hmm.
recognizing those temporary bits of brilliance that
Hmm.
can just kind of transpire out of nowhere. That's something you need to build towards, recognizing.
Yeah. I
And
love that
and
it's
I think I'm good at it, and so that's why I help other people find it.
yeah, you are
Um,
good at it. And
Thanks.
I love that it's that you see it as a skill that can be, say, practiced or honed or improved upon. Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
And I love how you work with whims. Thank you for deciding on a whim to talk to me today, even though on another whim you went back to the writing camp that you have been away from for a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
this is a great place to marinate with those topics and stuff. So, I think it worked out well anyway.
I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you, and enjoy the rest of your
Thank
camp.
you. Thanks.